I think I was young and delusional. I thought, okay, I could do everything. So I started as an investment banker straight out of school. I did that for about 10 odd years, and I was a producer and a DJ in music for about 4 or 5 years. For Castlery, we've been doing it for the past 13 years now. In 2013 was when we started Castlery. At that time, it was meeting a need where there was a big space between what was beautiful and well-designed and what was affordable. Because we didn't have background, we didn't realize how hard it was. So we were delusional, so we just went into it. And if we knew how difficult it was, we probably wouldn't have done it. The first 3 odd years was the startup phase. You started in Singapore, you met a customer need, you grew fast. So we started in Ubi, small, kind of underground, 900 square feet space, 4 people, and then moved to Delta House. The next 3 years was the struggle where we went overseas for the first time in Australia. That was when we took what worked in Singapore and went to Australia. We lost money 2 years straight, and it was a real struggle learning how to navigate. What we didn't do was really trying to understand what the Australian customers wanted, how they lived, how they shopped. Our assortment was not correct. We took a space that was not easy to find. Australian customers don't normally just shop like that. We didn't brand or communicate it properly. We re-pivoted to focus on the largest market in the world, US. And that's where we realized that if you want to scale up, it's not how you do things, it's where you play. I think when we really scaled up, the pandemic helped from where we were, a small regional player, to a couple $100 million company. So the thought really was large markets first, because of the scale that you can hit in terms of the volume. So we just look at the top 5 markets. We would need maybe 6 or to 7 Southeast Asian market, which means 6 to 7 languages, 6 to 7 cultures. I need to replicate every marketing team, finance team, all will be different. It will be even more challenging operationally in my view, because furniture already has a high fixed cost base if you want to operate the way we operate. So we thought, why not we use this to tackle the bigger market? And the big English-speaking one was, the hypothesis is the urban millennial, or now Gen Z, in New York or LA or San Jose, and in Sydney and Singapore and London will have same aspiration, same kind of stress, watching the same Netflix show, but it will be very different from the same person in Jakarta or Thailand or Malaysia. Because I was naturally curious about different things, a bit delusional when young, and have a lot of energy, so you just jumped in. And you thought you could handle everything, and you think it's really seasons of life that you're in my 20s and 30s. And I was a producer and a DJ in music for about 4 or 5 years. But music was something that was a deeply passionate project. End of year 1 of my law school in London, I was studying and writing music at the same time. I wrote the script over the summer and staged it after that. When we launched the musical, we sold out in 5-6 days. So it was a great kind of experience. Did that for about 10 odd years. You want to achieve something, you want to get validated, right? Because I saw a managing director just break down in the office because he put his life savings in. And it was very impactful for me because 3 years ago, you look up to a lot, right? That one day you want to be like him. And then you realize that, wow, this is not what it's panned out to be. So that was a good 20 years of my life, up to I think the late 30s, where it's evolved to something more instead of external facing, more internal. I think the big shift is becoming a father, so I have to travel a lot, and I want to be with my family. So homeschooling became more and more real. We questioned homeschooling, and then as we started to learn more about homeschooling and talking to a lot of homeschooling families, so like the 14-year-old kid will be joking about the mom and they will banter. And I want this kind of relationship. That was the start of why we wanted to homeschool, and it's still very overwhelming for me. So we take it one day at a time. I mean, I can build a company again next time, but you only get to bring up your kids once. If this is our first store in the US, we need to send the right brand impression. So we compromise a bit on size rather than having a bigger store, which would cost much more. We decided to pick a location that is in the right area for our customers. Just recently, my friend's father sent a text about our New York store and said, "Make Singapore proud." I think it's a regular, just Singaporean, and sent such an encouraging message, and it just made us feel that opening this store is maybe something more that's very rewarding.